It's home to the Hard Rock Cafe, but at the end of today's race, it could well be the School of Hard Knocks. We're at the halfway mark of Season 5 of the Aussie Racing League, and today we head to Miami, one of the newest circuits on the Formula One calendar, and a place that will challenge drivers to the nth degree. Let's take a look at the layout. 5.4 kilometres in length, 19 turns, 3 DRS zones. Overtaking is easy, defending not so much. Let's take you off to your commentary team.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Wereboy, and I'm joined in the commentary box today with Zakov.
Good evening.
And today we'll be bringing you the Miami Grand Prix in the Novice division. At the moment, we're just in the lobby, waiting for a few drivers to join in before we go. We've got 15 in the lobby and 20 expected drivers, so if they could hurry up and get in, that'd be great. In terms of the championships today, we have a very close battle between Milk in the Haas and Tadachi in the Ferrari at the top. 2 wins and 1 second place each, with only Tadachi having the poles between them. Panache is a close third, I'd say. Anything can happen, anything can change between the last 4 races. So the championship in terms of the drivers is quite close. In the constructors standings, we have Ferrari running away with it with around 46 points, if my math's correct, ahead of Haas.
Pretty big gap.
Yeah, it's a large gap. But I don't think the championship's quite over yet. We can see a few drivers not checking in for the race today. That could impact some of their championships. But what are your predictions for the race today, Zakov?
To be honest, I haven't seen much Novice race, but I did commentate a few races, I believe, in Novice. I think Milk, who looks very strong, obviously, is on the top of the championship standings. I think Tadachi is a strong driver as well in that Ferrari, but you never know with Miami. I mean, it's a really difficult track, so you never know what can happen.
Yeah, Zakov, you're arguably the fastest driver in ARL right now. So what sort of tricky parts of the track have you seen in your practice?
I haven't done any practice yet,
Oh,
but
really?
I have done laps on the track. Yeah, I think the first sector is probably the most difficult,
Yeah.
and then the third sector, just stringing the whole lap together in general, is pretty hard. I mean, we should see the times pretty spread out, I'm guessing, in this division. So
Yeah, that first sector is really quite difficult from turn 1 to about turn 4 because all of the traction zones are sort of turning, so you can never really quite get to full power before the corner ends. So it's going to be quite difficult. Qualifying, I think, is going to be important because the drivers are going to find it quite hard to overtake because, the sweeping straight, the second DRS zone, it's kind of awkward. You come out of a bend and you try to defend, but sometimes
yeah,
it kind of confuses lines. So trying to get a move set up into that part of the track is going to be quite difficult. And then the long back straight, that awkward chicane section, which I think is actually quite fun, is quite difficult if you don't get it right. So you have to count on the driver ahead making mistakes and you getting absolutely perfect to be able to make an overtake in a DRS train. So it's going to be a fun race. One thing to mention is that one of our drivers today, Reblitz, who is a driver for Mercedes, is celebrating his birthday today. So happy birthday to Reblitz. We hope you have a great race today. We'll be watching you closely, along with a few other drivers. I think we're just about ready to go. Everyone's ready
we
now.
are.
So what are your expectations for pole position today, Zakov?
I gotta go with Tadachi. He's second in the championship, but he's strong around qualifying, so we'll see. I mean, you never know. Like, there is rain in Novice, I think, yeah?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, and
Assist
it's a
and
high
rain
chance of
are
rain
quite
at
high.
Miami, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So the weather is on dynamic. So it could rain, it could be dry, we never know. And the predictions are on approximate as well. So it's going to throw out a few drivers if they don't get it right today. I think Tadachi is going to be in for pole here as well. I'm a Ferrari driver though, so I might be a bit biased.
You can't count out Milk though, obviously. He's been strong the whole season,
Absolutely.
so very
Championship leader.
consistent.
But Tadachi does have 2 poles in the last 4 races, and Milk doesn't have a pole to his name yet. So that could change now, obviously. Anything can happen. But
Yeah.
I don't want to predict anything that could happen in the race, but I'm pretty confident that if Tadachi gets the lap together, he will grab pole today. We're just in the lobby now.
Drivers in no rush getting out, I'd assume.
Yeah, probably
It's
just
pretty
looking
dry,
at the
so
weather.
yeah, it looks like it's blue skies, dry, no chance of rain, so they'd be cheering for that one.
Have you done any wet practice?
I haven't done any practice at all.
No practice at all.
Nope.
How
I'm
confident are
not a
you
fan
feeling
of
on
this
this
track,
track?
but obviously, like when you don't have practice, you don't feel very confident, but once you get out there and you start getting into the rhythm, then you can gain some confidence. But
Yeah, you have to get into a good rhythm here in
you,
Miami to
you
get
gotta
the
be
consistency.
confident in your ability and your skill. So I think
Absolutely.
that's that sort of mindset that gets you the wins and the pole positions.
Yeah, qualifying is going to be quite difficult here with the traffic as well because the track's not very wide. So trying to get out of the way is going to be awkward if you don't know where the driver behind is coming from
Exactly.
because of the walls.
Yeah, it's very long DRS straights as well, so it's a very fast track. So getting out of the way should be easy but hard at the same time. Obviously, you said with the walls being in the way, a lot of twisty turns.
Drivers will be trusting in their engineers today to try and help them work out who's
Yep.
on a lap, who's behind them. Of course, it's a bit difficult because it's not like real F1 where you have all of the detailed deltas and all that sort of fancy graphics. So it's going to be a lot of just thinking and trying to pay attention to the map. We're going to follow along with Milk here, who, would you argue, could take pole position. He's going to be on his outlap, moving quite slowly. I don't think his tires are going to be very up to temperature by the time he gets to the first corner, but we'll try and follow along. I can figure out the correct order of the drivers on track. We'll see what benchmark he sets and who follows. So what are you looking at in terms of time? What are your predictions?
I don't know the times around this track, but yeah, honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea. I think it's in the 20s. Yeah, it's in the 20s.
Yes, it is in the 20s. I think the
So
pole time yesterday in the academy was 1:28.0 by Siphon, if I'm not wrong.
so
That's
we'll
my final.
easily be into the 27s then.
Yes, we'll be into the 27s, although Siphon is quite fast, if I have to say so myself. He stormed to pole yesterday by quite a big margin. He left even Snoopaloop, who's a championship contender in Academy, behind. But
Yeah,
following on
interesting.
with this driver here, Milk, has had a tidy lap so far, choosing not to go in full throttle, stays just within track limits. There is an
Ooh,
expose.
missed the apex there.
Yeah, but he does miss the apex. That's going to cost him a bit of time. But it's only a banker. It's just a start. Just want to time on the
Yeah,
the push and have the ability to take more risk later on. But it's a tidy lap so far, but nothing special.
yeah. Coming into this last sector, this corner of right-hander very hard to get. You got to carry the speed there. Coming up, little slide, misses the apex a bit. He keeps it together though. See if he can get a good exit. Carries the speed well.
Yeah, he had a great exit coming onto the stage. Obviously, he says purple sector too, but he was the first person who said his time. So that's not going to be representative of the entire session. We see a bunch of other cars in the back quite close together. So we'll wait for Merck to finish the lap before we try and tune into what's going on at the back there. But coming across the line, Merck is going to set what I think will be a 27.8. That's my prediction. 29.6.
29.6.
Right, so a bit of an untidy lap from him. Salty's going to come across the line next, 9 tenths down to the 30.0. I think that's Manifin crossing the line now. Yes, it is. He sets at 29.6 against ahead of Salty and just behind Milk in the same 10. Sokotom though, 29.7. I can tell you, I did some practice with him yesterday and he's quite rapid. So he's going to have some pace on the track today. I'm not sure about consistency because he tends to have a few issues with traction and oversteer. So
There you go, Tadachi, 29.2.
beautiful.
HK coming just behind him,
Oh, that's even
29.3,
better.
so Ferrari flying.
That's fantastic. I mean, biased aside, I'm a Ferrari driver.
Oh, someone just picked up a 5-place grid penalty there.
That was a
I'm
good
not sure
lap.
who that
I think
was.
Foxy. If I can find where he is on track. He had it coming together with Sokotom, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah.
Maybe the admins will want to have a look at that and see if a levy restart is warranted. But at the moment, we're just going to keep going on ahead until he gets word of anything else. The
Nash.
28.7. 28.7, so that's a really big gap
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah. I mean, the track evolution's obviously a thing at this track more than others, so we'll see the times dropping rapidly at this stage.
The times are
So
pretty close.
I still think we can get into the 27s.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we didn't ride along with Panache or Tony. We took P2 silently while we were watching Bevo. But Tony, Panache, and Tadachi are going to be in for a pole position. We don't know how many mistakes they made or how many apexes they missed. Like we saw Milk missing an apex there, but it could be into the 28th, like you said. We don't know how much practice they've been doing, and Panache had a great race last time out. He led quite a few laps and had a pretty big gap. I don't think he won that race, unfortunately for him. He was caught out by a few incidents after his safety car, so we'll be looking to see how he does. Checking to see if Tony is getting a good slipstream from the going ahead, but that was just them going in on the in lap. So I think most people have set times on the board already. Slooperly though, he's an academy driver for Ferrari, driving in the Red Bull today. We do have a system where drivers in the academy below, and the division below, sorry, can drive this thing in the top 5. So we're going to have Hope Trio and Slooperly, and I believe Bevo as well. Although I could be wrong, someone correct me if I'm wrong. Those three are academy drivers, so they're going to be challenging themselves in Novice, trying to impress.
I think Bevo's a novice driver.
Bevo's Novice, right? Okay.
Yeah. I think we got VK on a lap in the Alfa Romeo, just heading through sector 3.
He's a human, isn't he?
He's one of the Alphas. Pretty quick. Don't count him out.
Takes first gear for the exit onto this straight, so not many people use first gear in this game. I think the only time I use first gear at any track is on the race stops. That's only for
Yeah. I don't think he's on a push lap.
It seems to be out of battery and out of fuel. That light is flashing, so he'll probably be going
Yeah.
into the pits for new tires.
Yeah, there he goes.
Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna have to mute my mic in case I sneeze again. Sorry for that. But yeah, we have information in chat that Kebab says Panache has 4 seconds in his lap time. Naturally, that's such a Kebab prediction.
4 seconds.
4 seconds. So we're gonna expect a 24/7 from Panache as a pole time today.
Interesting.
If we don't, I think Kebab is gonna have to be punished. I reckon a quali ban or something. Just for false information in the chat. Possibly 5 even, Kebab says. But yeah, everyone's going to be in the pits or going out on their out laps for the second lap. What do you think about the times? Do you think some drivers are disappointed? Some drivers are happy with their sets?
I mean, it doesn't look very spread out at all. You got the top 4 within 5/10 of each other. So yeah, it's
Tadachi, Sneaky and Tadachi are actually brothers. They don't live together, they're in separate households. But they're brothers, so the academy driver brother is the head of the Novice driver brother.
yeah. I mean, we'll see that. We'll see those times show, or the top drivers at the end of the quali session. But for now, we'll just have to wait and see what these second laps are looking like.
It'll be fun to watch. I think if you can be the last car out on track, obviously you get the best rubber on the track and you get the best track evolution. But when the times are this close, I think the driver's gonna be eager to get as much driving time as possible so they can get used to the track conditions. We still don't know about the weather. It could rain in the race. It looks to be dry for qualifying, but if any engineers are in chat, you could give us a weather update for the race, that'd be great. We know what to expect.
Seems like it rains in Novice a lot, so
Yeah, I'd love to have a red race in there. It's very entertaining.
yeah, they are.
One thing I'm keen to do now is follow along with the teammate, Sokoton. He's about to begin his lap now. His tires don't seem to be caught up to temperature yet. He seems to have disconnected, unfortunately. Not sure what happened there. He just went from the track straight to the pits.
I'm just following along with Melk. He's coming down the back straight on a lap. See where he can put it. He's currently P11 with a 29.6, so it looks pretty tidy from him. Misses the apex a bit, but carries the speed out of the corner. Comes across the line. Ooh. Just shy in the top 10.
He did have the fastest third sector though, and that third sector is literally all just straights and one corner, so Maybe that's just something
Yeah.
about his setup. Maybe he's running lower wings for the straight line speed, and he's going to be quite hard to overtake and very easy to. It's going to be very easy to pass for him. So we'll be watching him closely to see if he can fight through the pack.
Oh, it's a Mercedes. I think that's Foxy. Spun off the track.
Foxy.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing.
Foxy's not having a very good qualifying session so far. He gets out of the way. That's good. You never want to block other drivers on laps. But Foxy
Yeah.
had a quite a good race last week. He predicted the weather conditions absolutely perfectly. He was in the right tire at the right time and ended up leading the race for quite a few laps. He was on for Q2 at the end when he had that incident with Zamba.
Oh, Bevo. Oh, he's spun out of the last corner.
Just at the end.
Yeah. It seemed like he was struggling for traction. I know he doesn't use traction control, so
Yeah.
it's difficult getting on the traction around here, getting on the power.
It really shows you how difficult that part of the track is.
Yep.
Because again, most of the traction zones in sector 3 and sector 1 are just the car is always turning, the rear end is always, having a moment. So if you just get the throttle application a little bit wrong, you're going around. So yeah, as SGN says in track, the last corner can go to a bad place. Yeah, it's not very fun to do. And you think you have the grip, you think you have the traction, then it just gets away from you. So that's another reason why I'm looking forward to having a wet race, because having drivers sort of trying to find the limit in the wet is going to be quite fun to watch.
Yep. I think the drivers are coming into the pits now. Oh, Achuri. Achuri's DNF'd. I think that was just at the start of the third sector.
Yeah. We'll try and see what's happened by following Trenny. We might just...
Hopefully he's not in the way.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like he's spun out of on the downhill traction.
Yeah. It's a tricky
into the
traction
wall.
zone. Very tricky
Yeah.
traction zone.
Especially if you take lower gears, it's pretty hard to get on the power there. Especially coming out of such a slow corner.
What gear do you use for that corner, Zakov, coming up there?
Probably fourth, definitely fourth.
Yeah, fourth gear. I think third gear gets you a tiny bit more, exit traction initially, but then you just lose out so much in the higher revs. So I think fourth gear is probably the best one to use for that one.
Seems like second to third is probably the favourite for these guys.
Yeah, a lot of them are running on traction control though, so that could be another reason. Because if you do run lower gears, you get a better benefit with the traction control with the revs. I think a lot of them also run auto gears, so they might not have much say over the gear they use. They just have to hope the game has a good gear system. Sokotom though, I'd want to see what lap time he can do. He suffered a few connection issues and the track's rubbering up. So we're going into the business end of qualifying. I think the first car to do a lap will be
Trio. Trio's on his outlap now. It's leading the pack.
I think he's
P2 for him.
He's actually on a push lap right now. So the DRS opened, his battery's deploying, so...
Oh yeah, there you go, yep.
He's in a pretty tidy lap. I think he's down a bit on his time, so he's gaining time on his previous lap. He could be a contender for pole position. He bounced off the curb a bit
Takes
too
a lot
harshly.
of curb.
But he gets good traction, and he's just keeping the foot planted and just picking a braking point for the final corner. I don't think he runs line, so that's going to be an interesting thing to watch from him.
I think he's just up on his time.
Yeah.
So unless he has... Oh, he's pitting.
He's pitting.
I don't think he felt like that was good enough, so he might come in and have just enough time to get back out.
Yeah, I think maybe he could have been improving, but then he saw that the session time was running out. Because sometimes it's better to not finish a lap and then go out on a new set with more track rubber.
I think we have Cross Dog just starting his lap now. He's down in P17.
We'll try and follow along with him. He's going to get sort of slipstream, which I think in that part of the track could actually be detrimental.
Yeah.
For your lap, so he'll probably lose a bit of front-end grip. He takes a very tight line into turn.
I've seen a few drivers do that, so I don't think some of these guys are confident enough to go run wide and take a late apex.
It also puts you right on the limit of track limit, so you don't want to invalidate your lap when you're in qualifying, especially this late in, because if you invalidate at this point, you don't have much time left to try and get another lap in. And of course, with the new ERS system, you don't really have much time to recharge. So it's... Ooh! I'm not sure if you saw that. There was a pass.
Pass is fun, yeah.
Parked and watching what's going on. It's an
Rejoined
interesting
safely,
place
that's
to
good.
spin and hit the wall backwards. It's an interesting place to stop.
I think he's just letting the other drivers pass. It's such a tight track, or such a tight part of the track.
Probably the right
Anyway,
thing to do.
we got Tadachi on a flying lap, so he's one of the contenders for pole position, I think. He's looked really, really quick at the moment. I'm not sure if he's up or down in his time, but coming to the technical part of the track, he does it really nicely. Keeps it in 4th gear. 3rd gear. Yeah, 3rd gear exit, that's very nice. He might pick up some slipstream.
Panache ahead of him, though, was taking a 1:28.5.
Oh, is he going to get traffic?
Let's hope he doesn't. He might have a few people trying to warm up their tyres. Gonna have dirty air from the Alfa Romeo ahead of Sokotom. But I think he's gonna get the benefit of the slipstream slightly. Let's see what time he gets as he crosses the line. P1, 28.3. It's a great lap by him. I'm sorry we missed the first half of it, but that's a really good lap. Pole position by 2:10, so I don't think Panache is gonna be able to have enough time to challenge it.
His teammate HK Racing getting a really big tow from a Red Bull.
That's Snoopaloop right ahead of him, so that's going to be...
Oh, he goes straight on.
Ooh.
Distracts HK a little bit there, I think.
I think so. I think the slipstream gained him, but then just having the car ahead of him might have thrown him off slightly.
He looks a little bit uneasy coming through this section. He's 2/10 up though.
Yep, he is, and he's gonna... Probably has lost a bit of time on... he's turned off his battery though. His battery's off. So
okay.
He might be
going for another.
One. He's not gonna have much
charge.
He
can't pit.
It's gonna be interesting because he's not gonna have enough battery to do the whole lap at full deployment. So he's gonna lose a lot of time on that back straight with low battery. Panache though, I think he's gonna try and do another lap, or is he just finishing one? I think he's doing another lap now. So. He hasn't been able to charge the battery up enough, so he's not going to have enough battery. He's going to have a similar situation to HK, where he's not going to have enough battery to really have full power down the straight. So he's going to lose a big bunch of time in Sector 3. Expect no improvements in that regard unless he can absolutely gain a bunch of time in Sector 1 and Sector 2. But at the moment, Tadachi is not doing another lap. He's done for qualifying. He's in pole position. The 28.3 Panache and Bevo and Hawk Trio are going to be his biggest challenges. We'll check what they're doing in Sector 3. Haas has gone straight on at the final corner, but for now we're going to focus on the lap these guys are on. I think Bevo is going to be getting a mega slipstream from his teammate Hawk Trio up ahead, but he's again suffering the same issue as the other two drivers. There's not enough battery in the tank for full deployment, so they might not improve. Hawk Trio has invalidated, so I think Tadashi is going to take pole.
Yeah, it looks to be. I mean, no one... Oh, Bevo spinning out of the last corner again. Doesn't seem to be too confident on that corner exit.
Ooh, he's going to get in the way of HK here. HK sees it and just avoids. Let's see if he improves though. He's NP9 on 2-lap-old tires. Doesn't improve, so like I said, that's probably the battery issue. But yeah, Panache is going to be one of the final cars across the line. Unlike what Kebab said, he's not going to find that 5 seconds of time that he supposedly had, and he's going to take second place.
Yeah, P2 is still solid for Panache. I mean, Tadachi is just in another league, so... Yeah, the times aren't too spread out, but hopefully we can see a close race.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so the front 6 really are not that far apart. I know that Tadachi is 2/10 ahead of Panache, who's 1/10, basically 2/10 ahead of Bevo and Hawk Trio, but that grid is going to be quite close, you know? It's going to be very fun to watch. Right, that is it for qualifying. Tadachi, as I predicted, taking pole ahead of Panache in P2 with 28.5. Bevo and Hawk Trio, very good qualifying session for McLaren in P3 and P4, following along the McLarens yesterday, who had a very good, on Sunday, sorry, had a very good showing in the Singapore Grand Prix in real life. Maniftin and VK in P6 and 7, Sleeper Loop, the Academy Reserve driver driving for Red Bull today in P8, HK Racing, who is Tadachi's teammate and tied leader of the Constructors' Championship in P9, and Milk, who's the actual Drivers' Championship leader in P10. So it's going to be quite close.
The times are really close, like the 28s and 29s all the way down, so with only a few drivers not getting the 29s, so it's really close at the moment.
It's going to be
so
very
hopefully
close.
We can see some really close racing.
Predictions for the start. Who's going to get the jump off the line, keeping in mind that Milk, who was second, sorry, Panache, and Tadachi, who are both on the front row, don't have traction control, so...
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the strategy, obviously. The driver's choosing med hard or hard med, but I think Panache there for a while. Pretty sure Panache is gonna get the jump into turn 1, and they go side by side, hopefully, with no collision.
We hope there's no collision. I hope it wasn't so going to be like yesterday, where we saw a bit of carnage in the academy runs. I think every single driver missed the apex.
Yeah, well, turn 1 and 2, the whole track was really wide, so we'll see some moves, some dive bombs.
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing major.
Hopefully nothing major. Hopefully we all make it out the other side alive and with all our carbon on our car. But to start off the Miami Grand Prix, it's 4 lights, 5 lights on. And away we go. Tadachi gets a good start from P1. There's a bit of a carnage in the back. I'm not sure if someone stole
There
on
he
the grid,
goes.
but everyone's still alive. Panache, though, is going to take the lead of the Miami Grand Prix. He has to slot in right ahead of Tadachi, who's right behind. The two McLarens are fighting towards the back there. Let's see who comes out ahead. I think that's
we got
just Hawk Trio
spinners at
getting
the
ahead.
back, Formal Casting and Salty. They
Yeah.
come together.
I think there was an issue at the back there. There might have been a collision we couldn't see properly on stream, but the Alfa Romeo of VK is going side by side with the House of Milk, keeping it tidy, no crashes up there so far. But as I say, that Man of Tin has a collision and he's out of the race, unfortunately. That's going to be a safety car on lap 1. No one wants to see
Safety car
that.
on lap 1.
First lap safety car is out, I can see, so that kind of neutralizes the race. I think it was going well. I think everyone up from P15 was having a pretty decent race, but I think Salty, Formal and Maniftin had some sort of coming together. I think I saw one of the cars with the wing damage at the back there at the start, so not sure what happened. I wish we had the ability to show replays from different angles, but it's a first lap safety car now.
Yeah, well, I couldn't say I didn't expect it, but I mean, it's really tough to go side by side in some of these corners, them being very high speed. So I don't know, like, yeah. Anyway, Panache ultimately taking P1 down the inside. I don't think Tadachi got a start that he was particularly happy with, but Panache going down the inside, cleanly getting past, and he seems to be looking very strong in race pace.
Yeah, we'll look at the position changes before we look at the tyres properly. Nothing too major going on in the front 5s. I think it was just a bit of position changes with the traction off the line. Obviously, we haven't had much racing this far, but the biggest gainer so far, Foxy up 4 positions. Sokotom, who I think has damage and is boxing now for a new front wing and different tyres, was up 4 positions, but he's going to come out last of the finishing of the running cars. Sleeper Loop has lost 4 positions. Again, not sure what happened at the start there. Maniftin asking in chat who hit him. Unfortunately, I don't have that information for you. I'm not entirely sure. We didn't catch it on the stream. We'll check the tires though. And it seems that most people are on the hard tire. So I'm of the belief that the hard to medium strategy is the fastest strategy around a few of the tracks. Actually, most of the tracks, but a few people, mainly Fluxy, has a disagreement with me that the mediums could be faster. But again, when we have so many safety cars, for example, it kind of throws off the strategy. I think last week we had 3 safety cars at Novice, so it really didn't show which strategy was the best. It just really showed which drivers could cope with different levels of tire wear.
Yeah. So Milk moving up 3 positions, obviously the championship leader. He makes a fair few comebacks in the race and ultimately wins most of the time. So we'll see what he can do. He's down in P7. He's got very quick drivers in front of him. So we'll see if he can navigate his way through.
There's a large gap forming between Panache and the safety car. He hits the wall. I'm not sure why that gap is forming. I'll have to check my Discord quickly to confirm there's no lobby restart. Yep, there's no lobby restart.
It looks as if he's an AI, judging by his movement.
Yeah,
he's going into the pits.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he got wing damage.
I'm not sure why it would back him up that many positions though. I'm not sure what's going on. Because he formed quite a large gap to the safety car and then hit the wall a bunch of times. So maybe his
he's replacing his wing and going onto mediums in the pit. So
maybe he disconnected and we missed that. So that's unfortunate.
I think he disconnected and his AI put him into a wall. Maybe I've had that happen to me in the past a few times. So
yeah, and right, interesting. Not entirely sure what's going on. Kebab, if you're in chat, could you let us know what's going on with your teammate, because we'd like to have the information on the guy who was just leading the race. He looks to be in AI control right now, though.
Yeah, it's really weird. I'm not sure why his AI would go straight on the pit exit, though.
Yeah, it's very weird. Unless maybe he's having control issues and can't actually control the car. Hopefully he fixes the issues and will be back in, but I think the safety car will probably be in this lap. Hopefully Tadachi can maintain safe distance to the safety car. If you get too far back, the stewards are going to get very angry with you and going to give you a penalty. You have to stay within, I believe it's 7 car lengths of the car ahead on the safety car. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see how they navigate the restart. Obviously on the hard tyre, I think Bevo and Trenny on the mediums are going to have a better start and better warm-up. But who do you think is going to take the lead after the safety car?
I'm fairly sure that Tadachi would be feeling really confident and comfortable now with Panache out of the picture. So I think he'll run off into the distance with it, in my opinion.
Yeah. We'll see, they're weaving now toward the tire. That's a great view, seeing everyone just weaving and urging to go. The safety car is going to be pulling in. Hopefully they all avoid throttle lock. Tadachi is about to go. The camera angle is quite high. He's gone.
Bit of a slip.
Yeah, a bit of a wiggle, but he is underway. I think Hulk Trio got pretty good start, but not good enough to catch up.
Making a move on VK down the inside. Oh, he tags the Aston Martin. He's gone too deep.
Yeah,
he gets a Panache 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, so Panache having a lot of issues at the moment. But anyway, yeah, Milk going way too deep, tagging Trenny there. That's very unfortunate.
It's going to be looked at after the race by the stewards. I think to use a phrase that Martin Brundle likes to use, he was $1 late and a day short or something, one of those phrases. But yeah, that's probably going to be reviewed by the stewards after the race. I think when you're on the medium tire like Milk is, you want to get those moves done early because you know you're on the faster compound, and it's quite annoying if you're stuck behind someone on the hard tire. So that's probably Milk getting a bit too eager with the overtake.
Salty going down the inside of Foxy. Oh, they leave each other just enough room, but Salty gets the move done.
Yeah. Oh, I heard someone hitting the wall. I think that was...
Yeah, formal casting has gone around.
Yeah.
He seemed to be struggling this race a lot.
I'll tell you what though, formal casting, this is its first ever season on the steering wheel. And this is the first ever race on manual. But now, looking forward, we have Alfa Romeo of VK and Hawk Trio going side by side into turn 1. We'll see if they can keep it clean.
Contact.
There's a bit of contact where they leave each other room. And Milk is watching and waiting for one of them to make a mistake. He's going to have the run on Hawk Trio. They're going to get squeezed into the wall. Robin
Very
is
close
not
there.
racing, boys. Let's see who takes the lead going into turn 1. He just
Hawk
has
goes
to back
down
out.
the inside and he tags Tadachi. No.
Oh,
What's going on here?
that is quite an incident. Not entirely sure what happened there. What caused.
Yeah.
Get that back up. Apologies for the issues.
No, you're right. So it looks like we've had a few incidents. Soccer Tom dropping all the way down to last. Manhattan with a DNF. I don't think Soccer Tom's in the session. We get Stealth, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Bevo leading the race by quite a comfortable gap on those mediums. He's yeah, and then Milk following behind him, 3.6-second gap now, increasing. Yeah, the field looks to be pretty spread out. Oh, no, we got VK going for a move on Milk. Round the outside, see if he can get it done. Milk doesn't fight it too much. VK being on the hards. VK's out of battery, so... And then Milk has 30%, so we'll see if he can get him in the back straight with the DRS. If he can get a good run out of these set of corners.
Soccer John retired from the session.
Yellow flag, and yep, we got a safety car. Another safety car.
I think he's had a bit of a collision with formal casting because they're both out of the race at the back. I'm just rejoining the lobby now.
Yeah, I
but
think
that's
they
a second
collided.
safety car.
Yep, so formal casting and Soccer Tom retiring in close together on the track, so I think there was an incident there that I didn't catch. Milk goes into the pits, VK stays out, Bevo stays out. So I think Milk's going to go for the hards till the end. So he's looks to be confident on his strategy.
It's a bit
I think
early
two
for that,
drivers,
don't you
Robbie
think?
pits as well. I mean, they are hard tyres. They can make very long distance in the race, especially with these guys having lower tyre wear. So I think the hards. I think they can make the hards go till the end, and then being a very strong tyre.
Yeah. I think the wear on the hards from my own personal testing is around 2%, 2 to 3% per lap, obviously depending on the setup and your driving style. So if we're on lap 7 at the moment, and we have to go 29 laps, that's around 80% towards the end. So you'd be stretching it because it's around 20 laps with 2%. Oh, no, my maths has just completely gone out the window. That's 40%.
You also got to factor in that these guys are obviously a lot slower than us, or not a lot slower, but a little bit slower than us, so the tyre wear would be
a bit
little
easier.
bit less. Yeah. So I think they can make it to the end. I mean, you got the safety cars as well to factor in as well. We've already had 2 in the span of 7 laps, so I think there's a good chance of more coming out.
It's quite interesting though because yesterday we had, I think there were 2 retirements, but we only had a virtual safety car. There was only 1 virtual safety car, but 7 laps in here we've got 2 full safety cars. So it's kind of interesting to see how reduced safety car works, because it's quite unpredictable. You never really know the criteria for a safety car, because someone could fully send it into the wall. That's not even a safety car, but as soon as someone drops a bit of wing, it's a full safety. So it's weird to see, and it's not really nice to have if you're driving, because you never know when a safety car could come out. You can really throw off a strategy. I prefer to have races without safety cars, so we can just see the drivers actually fight and just race, because you don't want to see safety cars and all the carnage and chaos that causes.
Yep. Especially for the faster drivers, it's really frustrating when the safety car comes out at not such a good time for the strategy. So you could be P1 leading by 7 seconds, say, and then a safety car comes out at the worst time, and then you can drop to P8, net P8, and have to fight your way back up.
Yeah.
So yeah, safety cars aren't really.
That's happened to you a number of times, hasn't it? I remember last year in Jeddah you were leading, and then a safety car came out, and all of your gap just went. Like, how
Yeah.
frustrating is that as a race leader when you're...
I mean those
Nice.
was incorporated with technical issues on my end, but
Yeah.
I think it happened to me earlier this season at Monza. I was leading by around 6, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, and then the safety car came out, and it all went out the window there.
Do you ever
So-
enjoy having to fight and defend your position, or do you prefer...
Oh yeah, it's always fun fighting through the field and fighting the other guys, but when it's crucial to get championship points, it's not fun. It's
not
pretty
fun.
frustrating.
I think last year your championship was pretty much decided after race 3. You won 5 out of the 6 races. I think the only race you didn't win was a DNF.
Yeah.
So I think you're pretty much sorted. I remember Lewis Hamilton was asked one day if he'd prefer to start pole and lead every lap and win by 30 seconds, or if he'd prefer to start last and win from the back. And he said he'd prefer to start pole and win by 30 seconds. But
Yeah,
I think after
probably
Brazil, he
go the
changed that
same.
answer. I think he changed that answer after Brazil. He opted to start from the back, obviously with that disqualification, and he ended up winning the race. So we're about to go racing again,
well,
though.
it's pretty different going IRL as well with the overpowered Mercedes in those days. But anyway, we got Bevo leading the way, VK following closely behind on the hards, Cross Dog on the hards as well as Snoop Loop. Bevo hasn't pit yet, so he might have to think about pitting soon. I think he was just away from the pit entry
Whoa!
when the safety car came out. Oh,
At the
incident.
back, there was an incident. I think Robbie and Panache, and I think that was Trenny had a bit of a coming together. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but they were very close together. Milk, though, is in a pack of cars racing side by side with, I believe that's Hawk Trio, and gets spun round. Oh, and he crashes out
No.
at Shuri. What an incident. Milk was probably just an innocent bystander there. He was side by side going into the corner. Unfortunately, it looked to me like a racing incident, but he went round and Achuri, left with nowhere to go, has suffered the wrath of spinning cars ahead. So Achuri, unfortunately, is out of this race. He was out of last week's Singapore Grand Prix before turn 1 even happened because of a similar collision. So again, we've just lost another driver. I'm not sure if Milk has damage.
I think Hawk Trios
does.
picked up a bit of damage, and the two Ferraris are trying to navigate their way through as well. I just saw HK go past him down the straight. I think Hawk Trio doesn't have a front right end plate, so Tadachi looking very eager to get past him at this point.
Yeah, he's using his battery. He's gonna be in the slipstream. I don't think Hawk Trio is really gonna defend this too much because he knows he hasn't got the wing. The downforce, he'll probably be into the pits for the hard tire that he started on, although that's not really ideal. It's not really the fastest way around. But yeah, he's going into the pits for a new set of tires. It's going to be fun to watch these back in the tickets. But again, it's never fun in the moment when you crash out of no fault of your own.
It's not good. Anyway, we still got Bevo leading the way. 1.5 seconds. He's extending his lead. Yeah, as I said before, he needs to think about pitting. Obviously, being on that medium tire. He could wait for another safety car, or he could stick to a strategy of no safety car. But as we've seen, we never know with Miami.
Yeah,
we've already had
anything
2 safety cars, 3 safety cars, so.
Anything can happen. And I think, with the 2 safety cars we've had, the mediums aren't really that warm. So I think at this point, even on lap 10, the mediums are probably still faster than the hards, which is why you're seeing Bevo. Of course, we saw how quick he was in qualifying. Bevo is, running away with the race at the moment. He's just ahead of TTV VK, who's on the hard tire. And I think at the moment we're going to see things stabilize until we get to the pit stop phase. Obviously the drivers will be worried about safety cars and other things like that happening, but at the moment you're going to see a bit of stabilization and just waiting for the right pit window to open.
Yeah, obviously after the safety car restart, the top 10 are following very closely together. The 2 Ferraris running P10 and 11. I'm not sure what happened with Tadachi. I think he pit from hards to mediums very early on.
I think he was involved in one of those crashes.
Yeah, we remember that, yeah.
I want to follow along with HK now, because he's right behind Foxy. he's going to want to get through Foxy as soon as possible, because he seems to be quite a lot faster than Foxy, and you don't want to lose too much time, especially on your first hard stint, because that really defines what happens for the rest of your race. So we're going to see HK, if I can press the right button, in the slipstream with the DRS, trying to get past Foxy. He's going to go to the right. As we said, it's a bit awkward to overtake through this part of the track, but he's going to go to the right and try and get that move done on Foxy, which I think he does before going into the braking zone. Foxy is a bit wobbly, but HK is going to pick up the position.
Yep, I think Tadachi's going to be keen to get past him as well, follow his teammate through. Being on that medium tyre.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
But I think Foxy is also going to get DRS, and Foxy, I think, he's using the battery to try and keep DRS to HK.
HK's out of battery, so that's interesting to see.
Yeah.
I think he's used a lot to get past the other drivers. Or Foxy goes for a late move. Luckily HK sees him coming, that would have been very bad.
Yeah, I think Foxy might have gone a bit deep.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a regretful move from Foxy, yeah.
Foxy, who's been at the receiving end of a few incidents in the last few weeks, not going to be wanting to cause one himself. But yeah, I think we're going to see Tadachi, if we follow along with him, getting closer and closer. If HK can just use that battery and try and break the DRS and slipstream, it's going to make Tadachi's job a lot easier trying to get around Foxy for P10, and hopefully we can see, well, hopefully for me, since I'm a Ferrari driver, we can see them going up the grid back into the positions that they deserve on pace.
Yeah. So heading down the second straight, Tadachi's going to go for the outside. I just saw his teammate go around the outside there. Foxy's going to fight it. No, he backs out of it, so Tadachi gets the move done.
Yeah, that was well
Foxy
done.
thinks better of it for his own race. Now that side-by-side action has brought Stealth into the picture, so Foxy runs wide, Stealth taking a nice line on the exit there.
Stealth's got so much more battery though.
Yeah, he does. There you go, Foxy's out of battery, there goes the light. So Stealth's going to make the move down the inside.
It's a great camera angle, but Stealth moves to
Foxy
the right.
brakes really late.
Oh, and Stealth spins out on traction trying to get past Foxy there. So maybe he's a bit too eager to get on the power, and by doing that has lost position to Foxy. So Foxy didn't really do anything wrong there. He went a bit deep, maybe
no, he didn't.
trying to leave space for Stealth on the inside. Further ahead though, the gaps are really closing between Crosstalk, Sneaper Loop and VK. Hopefully we're going to see some overtakes up here on the podium positions, because at the moment all the action seems to be happening towards the back. But I think we're going to see a move from Crosstalk now, and the slipstream using just a tiny bit of battery. I don't think he wants to make the overtake at the moment.
I think VK had a mistake, because I saw the gap at just around a second, just under a second to Bevo, and then it dropped to 2 seconds, so I'm not sure what happened there with VK. I think he made a little bit of a mistake, had a moment. So Crosstalk is looking eager to get past him there.
Yeah, Crosstalk is just pushing VK. He's really close getting through that right-hander.
He's taken really tidy lines, so
He is, absolutely.
he looks pretty confident, especially around that last sector.
We're going to try to get the move done now. VK is going defensive into the final turn, turn 17.
There's no point.
But there's no point defending, because with the overspeed, Crosstalk gets that move done, leaves the space on the inside, but VK is going to want to keep his nose in there and try and fight it back. We're going to see who gets the DRS. I think VK will get the DRS. We'll see if that helps him try and fight back and make the move. I don't think he's going to be able to get that done.
It's
He's a bit too far back. Yeah.
Well, he goes a little bit deep though. Super loop brings him into the picture as well. Now he's going to get it big, going to get past him. So VK looking to go very defensive on these drivers. I think he's just one by one getting picked up. Starting to lose a lot of pace. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Keep in mind though, VK and Sneaper Loop are both academy drivers, and they're fighting for podium positions in Novice. So the admins are going to be watching closely and considering a few promotions very soon. But they haven't made their pit stops yet though, so
I mean, yeah, we've seen the safety cars and all the incidents happen, so yeah, I mean, it bunches up the field a lot, so we see those lower division drivers up there. But you never know, they could have actually done it legit and have some good pace around this track
ooh,
too.
look at HK and Robbie going side by side into, it was turn 12 if I'm not wrong. And I think HK is going to want to have a shot at getting Robbie now. HK is running low on battery though. Robbie has 40% more than he does, so I think HK is not going to... He's going to keep the battery on though. He's going to try and go for a move. Robbie is going to defend that into the final corner down the straight, and HK is not able to get that move done there, but he gets a better exit and will be quite close. If he can get the traction, he might be able to get the move done. He decides to use the battery, but Robbie's not going to give that position up easily.
Yeah, Robbie's got 50% battery, whereas HK's still running very low. So that could help Robbie out of this set of corners to the DRS straights, but it looks like he's struggling. HK very close to him there.
I think HK setup is helping him stay closer in the slipstream through the corners. Even with the reduced downforce of the dirt here, he's still getting quite close. But Robbie himself though is going to have to think of a move, because he's also getting close to Panache. Obviously Panache hasn't made the pit stop when he's on the older tyres.
He's using the battery, there he goes.
Yeah.
Panache out of battery, so Robbie's got the upper hand with his battery and DRS. So goes down the inside to get away from HK Racing.
They almost touch. We'll see who gets the position. It's very close between the two.
They're still hanging it.
And I think Robbie just backed out because it's very difficult to go too wide into the chicane section.
It's not a good idea.
See how much battery Panache has. Panache has less than 10% and he's really using it. He's not going to have a lot of deployment left. He moves to break the slipstream. Yeah. And all this fighting is just going to have the two Ferraris and Foxy behind, just gaining time to them. Robbie goes down the inside of Panache. I don't know why Panache is really fighting this, because Panache... actually, no, they have made their pit stop. So this is probably the final stop for Panache. So they have a 5-lap tyre delta between them. But this is for position, so it makes sense that Panache is defending this.
He goes deep, so Robbie's looking to get a good run on him out of this set of corners, but I don't think there's an overtaking opportunity here in sector 1, so other than turn 1, but I think Robbie's just going to have to wait until the straight. Panache really struggling, I think he's offline here. Yeah, Robbie goes down the inside, or I don't know why he didn't wait till the straight, but see if he can get a good exit. No, he doesn't.
HK got really squeezed into the wall at that point. I don't think he was really entitled to racing him, if I'm honest, but he has lost a position to his teammate after clipping the wall. Hopefully he hasn't got any damage. Looking ahead though, they're still as they were before, but at this time just a bit further apart. But what do you think happened there when they were taking really weird lines into that corner?
I think once you go offline and you take the alternate line, I think you have to stick to it, because getting back online you lose a lot of time and you could lose at the rear end and it unsettles the car. So yeah, he was taking a very different line there.
Yeah, we look a bit forward though at Sniperloop, who's currently fighting with your teammate VK in the Alfa Romeo. We've got a lot more grip. I think VK is going to go into the pits now, probably for the mediums. Worth noting, a few drivers have pitted now. Trenny pitted for the hards on the previous lap, so this is Trenny's warm-up lap on the hard tire. We'll see how the warm-up is. I think it's about 4 sectors to get them warmed up to proper operating temperature, which is why I truly believe the hards to mediums are faster on most of the tracks, because of that tire warm-up phase.
Yeah, Bevo's still yet to pit. He's got a pretty comfortable gap of around 2 seconds. He's on the 16 lap old meds, so he hasn't pit yet. He has to think about it soon onto the hard set of tires. So we'll see when he pits. He's got pretty good battery, and he looks to be managing his tires and battery pretty well.
On track, Tadachi and Panache are fighting though at the moment. They are going at it lap after lap, and I think Panache is not going to have the overspeed to fight it. Panache has damage actually on the right end plate, so that's probably why he's struggling through a few of the corners. Tadashi
Yeah,
now
okay.
leading Panache, of course, on the medium tire. I don't think he's going to be able to go to the end, and if he does, he's going to have very high tire wear. So if he does, it's going to be quite
Ooh, we
interesting
got
to
yellow
see.
flags.
Got a yellow flag. Not sure who that is. I think
Oh,
it's
it's HK.
HK.
He's in the wall. He's lost his front wing.
Oh, and
He's recovered it
Trenny
though.
has followed him.
Oh,
As I was trying to watch what happened to HK, Trenny follows him and spins round, loses the front wing, hits absolutely every single surface of the car, trying to recover onto the track. So Trenny's going to be in for a front wing. We will see
we got a
if
safety car.
safety car. Right, again, like I said, it's unpredictable. Sometimes a car
There
can
we go.
crash
Everyone's
out.
in. We got soft tires for Bevo. Oh, it's getting interesting. So we got soft tires for Bevo. Cross dog goes onto the meds as well as Snoop Loop. I think the hard runners, yeah, they're choosing mediums. I think the favourite's medium tires, but Bevo, the ultimate gambler, going on the softs.
Yeah,
Can he make it last? Can he make it last?
it's going to be very, very close. I think he was going to go for the softs anyway because he was going long on the mediums. So I think moving forward that pit stop a few laps might be in his favor now, but towards the end the tire wear is going to be quite high.
You know
Um,
what? I think I can see his strategy through because if Robbie pits in front of him this lap and he gets clean air, clean restart, he'll have so much grip through sector one and he'll just pull away and hope that Cross Dog, Snoopaloop, and VK um, fight it out and he can pull even more of a gap. So I can kind of see his strategy. I can kind of see his thinking, but it's a big gamble. So yeah, the tire wear's really high, so it's a big gamble. Yeah, see what happens.
I think it might just work out for Bevo because you're going to have a lot of grip on the restart and you're going to be able to build a gap. But Robbie, though, he's in the mix here. Robbie is in P1 on 11 lap old hard. So what do you think is going to happen to him?
Ah, I have no idea. I would think he'd pit, but he's got track position, so I mean he's got nothing to lose really. He can, I think he can make those hards go to the end. So I think it's worth the risk to stay out for Robbie.
What about the pace delta between the tires? The hard tires are going to have absolutely no grip compared to the softs and the mediums behind. So I think
Yeah, I
he's going
mean
to have a
he
hard
could
time.
he could let Bevo past on the restart or somewhere safe that he doesn't lose too much time, or he could just keep it in front of him and see what he can do.
I
I don't know.
think,
It's going to be a really interesting restart.
yeah, I think that for the 10 laps remaining, I think we're going to have the safety car in at the end of this lap. So we're going to have lap 20 to 29 racing lap. I think that's going to be 10 laps if you include lap 20. And I think the softs, my out lap in qualifying on the softs does about 4% wear, and my push lap does 10% wear.
Yeah, wow.
So it's very, very tight with the tires. And if you're going to be battling, that's only going to increase the wear. So I think Beva's going to be risking punctures towards the end here.
I think he has to manage off the restart and then push towards the end, or push now and then manage towards the end. But yeah, as you said, the tire wear's really high, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Bevo, but we'll see. I think he's pretty confident in his driving.
Yeah.
Watching him drive in the past, so I'm rooting for him, and hopefully he can finally take away a good result.
I'll be keen to see him try and fight for that podium, because I think if you see a few incidents and he's able to keep DRS, of course there are 3 DRS zones and plenty of straights, so if he's able to manage the battery and keep DRS, he could still... I don't think he's going to be able to really attack and fight for positions, but he's probably going to be in the mix to try and maintain or lose as few positions as possible. And I think on the hard tyre, the warm-up's going to be quite difficult.
Here we go then, safety car in this lap. Drivers will be looking to get their tyres into temp to get that extra grip. So Robbie on 12 lap old hards, Bevo on fresh softs. Let's see what he can do with these softs. Cross dog behind him looking to looking to stick with him. Snoopaloop as well. In a very good position. But here we go then. Oh, Robbie's had a spin. There he goes.
Thanks to the
So Robbie
brilliant
spins.
cameras, we didn't see that on stream. Robbie is in the background somewhere there. We weren't able to see
I don't think
that.
he had enough temperature. I don't think he had enough temperature in the tyres.
My heart aches for
So
Robbie.
Bevo leading the way then. I think that's played into his hands very well. I think
Absolutely.
he'll be very happy with that.
Absolutely. But it's been a pretty stable safety car result so far. I think the only change of positions was Spelled passing Foxy, and obviously Robbie with that spin. A bit too eager on the power on the cold tires. So like I said, it's going to be a damage limitation game for Robbie, and at the moment he's taken maximum damage. So that's important for him. Trenny, unfortunately, at the back has gone round. And ooh, Robbie has joined him.
He's had a collision with Robbie, I think.
I've never
Maybe
ever
like
seen
in
a
the drive-thru.
drive-through for a collision, so must have been an absolutely mega one. But yeah, looking
Rostock
ahead,
hanging on the back of Bevo there.
yeah, just about to
He
say.
has more battery than him as well. I think Crossdog is. He's looking really good for this race win. If he can stick with him and wait until those softs drop off, then I think he can have a really good chance of winning. But you got VK as well behind, looking pretty quick. I think he's held position to Snoopaloop. It's looking pretty comfortable at the moment. No moves really going on.
Snoopaloop is carrying a 5-second time penalty for overtaking under yellow flag, so that might have been an incident under safety car that will probably be looked at or reported after the race. Panache is quite close to, I believe that's Foxy. We'll see what happens if they go side by side into turn 1. Panache got late on the brakes, and I'm not sure if there was contact there. Might have been a bit of lag.
Yeah,
or
there
desync.
was a bit of contact.
And he gets that move. He doesn't get the move down. He's still behind Foxy. Pardon me. He's still behind Foxy, and will probably be waiting to make that move on the back straight.
Rostog's still holding on to the back of Bevo's car there. Bevo being on the soft compounder tyres, I think this is going to be a pretty spicy fight towards the end of the race. It's looking pretty dark out in the clouds at the moment, so it's gotten dark really quickly. I don't know if there's rain coming or it'll be very interesting to see. Yeah, if there is rain falling, then it could really shake up the grid.
Foxy is bleeding positions at the back though. He just lost 2 positions in 2 corners. HK Racing leaves Foxy racing room on the inside and makes position going into the chicane section. So HK now is in P9, which I believe is the position he qualified in. He's going to be trying to close the gap to Panache and try to keep DRS and fight for higher paying points positions. But Crossroad though just dropped off from Bevo. I think that's just a tire doing the work for Bevo there. He's got so much more grip. He's just set 2 fastest laps in a row.
May I say it's getting very, very dark at the moment.
Whoa, Foxy has just gone round. He went side by side with HK Racing. There was no contact, but I think Foxy just got caught on the bottom of the curbs there and spun, and he's lost his front wing, so he's going to be bleeding position. Will likely be overtaken by Trenny as well. But yeah, if any engineers could give us any weather information, Zakov is rightly saying it's getting very, very dark out there at the moment. Maybe rain is expected at some point towards the end of the race.
Maybe that's why Bevo's gone on to the... Oh, we got a yellow flag. I don't think that's anything. I think someone just had a moment. Anyway, I think Bevo's gone onto the softs either because there's rain at the end, or it's just his strat that he wanted to go on, but he's starting to pull a little bit of time. Crossdog goes very deep. So Bevo doing well to keep position there under pressure. But yeah, it's gotten very dark, so over the course of these couple laps, in my opinion, I want to see some rain. I want to see some action.
Yeah, I'd love to see some rain. That would just make the last few laps so chaotic to see if drivers choose to stay on the slicks, if people go in for the intermediate tire. Tuning to Snoopaloop now, who's trying to make a move on VK SVYT. He has the DRS, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to make that move on VK.
He sticks it around the outside though. It looks like there's a lot more grip around the outside there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we've seen a few drivers just slingshot out of that corner when they're on the outside. So he gets the move done, keeps it. VK looking to stay on the attack.
That was a very tidy move by Snoopaloop, who is carrying again that 5-second penalty for overtaking under yellow flags, which might be removed after the race. We don't know how or when it came by, but that could be looked at after the race. But yeah, he's in P3, an academy driver in P3 in Novice, so he's probably keen to get that promotion up and see what he can do against the faster drivers.
Yeah, they're doing really well at the moment, these academy drivers.
He's showing the novices
I
how
mean,
it's done.
Yeah. Tadachi in P7, he's made a pretty mega comeback from those early lap incidents that he was involved in. He's on the hard still, he hasn't pit. He didn't pit under that safety car. So he's gone for track position, he's following closely behind Stealth and Salty. Hopefully wanting to get a position from them to fighting.
Let's see if Salty defends. We've seen that they're oh! I think that was just a bit of lag.
Really aggressive there.
But he gets a good switchback on Salty and takes a position. I'm not sure if you saw that on my stream, but Stealth...
yeah, Stealth lost the rear end of it there.
Yeah, lost the rear end. Right. It was a bit of a heart attack, but I'll show you the clip after the race. I think a few people on stream saw what I'm talking about. I'll show you the clip after the race. That was a bit shocking. But yeah, the drivers are trying to make up those positions. If anyone, again, can tell us any weather updates, that'd be very interesting to...
oh, we got a spinner. It's Crossdog. No, Crossdog spun around.
Where's Crossdog? P6.
So, Crossdog has spun from P2. So that gives Bevo a really big gap of 5 seconds to Snoopaloop. As well, Snoopaloop carrying a 5-second penalty as well. Wow, so Bevo has a really big lead at the moment.
I think at the moment the last two podium positions are between absolutely anyone. Any one of these drivers at the moment could take it. We've seen lots of incidents, and there's quite a long DRS train forming behind Stealth. I think it goes from Stealth all the way down to Crossdog. Don't think it's gonna rain, Zachary, if I'm honest. I think the rain's taking a bit long.
Yeah, I think the weather's just gonna hold on overcast. I don't think we're gonna see any rain, but it would have been nice.
Would have been very nice. See if Panache wants to send it into the braking zone. He just stays behind Tadachi. Panache and Tadachi, who took P1 and P2 at the start of the race, are currently fighting for P6 and P7. It's not the positions they wanted at the beginning of the race, but that's the position they find themselves in after the incident and all of the crashes and safety cars that happened. So they probably won't be happy, but since both of them are looking to close the gap to Milk, who is currently leading the championship, they won't complain, because at the moment they're outscoring him in the championship. So they probably won't be happy that they're not fighting for P1, P2, but they will be happy that they're closing that gap to the top.
Yeah, well, they've all been involved in pretty heavy incidents, so I think points would be good for them at the end of the race. It's better than no points, I guess. So yeah, they've done well to keep their car intact and get their heads down and get back into the points. Oh, Crossdog goes down the inside, late move there. There's a bit of contact. Yeah,
he really sent it into the corner there, but Panache was the defending driver and took that corner, left a car's width on the inside, but I think Crossdog was just coming in a bit too hot to be able to stop in time for the space he was given.
Yeah, that was a bit of a late move, and then he picked up the additional 3-second penalty for track limits. So things have really hit the fan for Crossdog very quickly over these last few laps.
Yeah.
Bevo's gap of 5 seconds has closed down to 3.5. So Snoop's closing in the gap, but then again you got Snoop and Stealth carrying penalties. I think they're both carrying 5-second penalties, so if Bevo keeps his tyres in a nice window and keeps it away in puncture territory, then he could have the win.
The gap, as you said, between Snoop and Bevo is closing down rapidly. That was just 6 tenths in one sector. So maybe the soft tires have hit the cliff. We go back now to see Panache and Crossdog fighting once again. They seem to enjoy the fighting as they're doing lap after lap. I don't think Crossdog is really using the battery, just using the slipstream and the DRS. Into turn 11. Let's see if he gets a move done. This time he's ahead in going into the corner, and he takes a corner ahead of Panache. Further ahead, though, Stealth is right behind VK, who does not have DRS, but Stealth will be pushing VK along, trying to get that move done.
He gets a good exit.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got some battery to play with as well as DRS, so yeah, he looks like he's closing in very quickly. I think that's going to be an easy move for Stealth.
Not much VK can do in that situation when he was on the
we got more
slip-in
yellow
so
flags. I think that's a Williams.
Might be. I think that was Trenny. It was an Aston Martin getting out of the way for. I think some cars. Oh, he spun again. So he's not having a good race. He spun twice at that corner. Again, it's a difficult corner for traction. Dachi and Salty are going side by side into the first sector. You see who comes out ahead. So Dachi with the faster outside line takes a move, makes a move down on Salty, who will likely fight that into the upcoming DRS zone.
Yeah, so the gap of the leader closing very quickly over one lap, so we've seen it gone from 3.5 seconds to 2.5. So I think Bevo's starting to manage his softs a bit to the end, obviously being 9 lap old. So I think he's starting to see a really big drop off of grip, so I think he's just going to nurse those tyres to the end and hopefully get the win.
I think it's going to be McLaren's first win of this season of ARL. So if Bevo can bring it home, that's going to make him a bit of a McLaren
I think that'll be
hero.
Bevo's first win as well.
I think so, yeah.
Mistaken.
So
he's came very close a few times in the past, so I'd be very delighted for him to get the win today.
Salty's going to try and make a move on Tadachi going into turn 17. I think they leave each other just enough space. That's very good space leaving by Salty, who's going to have a faster line and probably.
And there's that outside
DRS.
line again.
Yeah, the outside line just seems to be faster, so I'm taking notes for tomorrow's race. Salty gets the DRS as well. And I think that was Panache fighting as well. Does he get that move done into Sector 1? Yeah, he does. So Tadashi, in the space of about 2 corners, has lost 2 positions.
Yeah, well, you can see that this track is very shows the consequences of fighting side by side with other drivers. You can lose positions very quickly.
Just gains so much time. Tadachi is having a look on the inside of Panache, who is squeezed into the wall but leaves to the left just enough room. I don't think Panache is going to have the slipstream that Tadachi is going to have. And obviously Panache is out of battery, but Tadachi is not looking to attack at the moment. I think knowing that the next straight is coming up, that will probably present a better opportunity to gain position. These yellow flags, I think that was crossed up. Tadachi!
Tadachi's dropped it. Oh, that's wing damage as well.
Yeah, might have.
I think he's collected a bit of wing damage. Yeah, coming out of the spin.
That's unfortunate, but looking ahead, Panache has a really big overspeed on Salty and absolutely no battery.
Stealth goes around
well. Oh, is he gonna get out of the way? He does, but he hits the wall in the process and loses his end plate. Panache though has got that position on Salty, who will probably not give up that.
Miami Grand Prix, so Bevo with a really good drive today. VK ultimately taking P2 as well for Alpha. Very happy with that. He'd be very happy with that. Snoop Loop in P3 for Red Bull, obviously being a reserve driver. Upper div, so really strong result from the drivers coming upper div. Panache having a really good comeback. It caught up in a few incidents, but he's managed his way through. Salty has to settle for P5. Really good drive from him as well. Stealth after the spin, he loses a few positions, but he still finishes solid in the points. Tadachi finishes P7 ultimately as well. A few incidents himself as well, but seems like he lacked a bit of pace today. So I don't think he'll be very happy with this race, but it's points in the end. And then Milk, Crossdog, and Robbie rounding P10 down to P10. Yeah, so we've had 4 retirements, very chaotic race, a lot of safety cars, a lot of incidents. Miami never letting us down with the racing.
Yeah, I think I'm just back in the lobby now, just in time to grab the race director, but everything you just said was absolutely right. I think Bevo absolutely deserves the win.
Smashed it.
Smash it, absolutely. Made the medium stint really work well for him, and even on the softs when they were dropping off, he held on enough and saved the tires enough to hold on to that win. So hopefully he's going to be in the chat and we can have an interview from him to hear his thoughts on the race. I'll just grab the race director for anyone who needs it. I believe that's everything. Right, that brings to an end the Miami Grand Prix. So what are your thoughts on that, Zakov? Any surprises? Any?
Yeah, I mean it was. It's a very difficult track to race at. Saw a lot of side by side action, a lot of incidents, a lot of safety cars as well. So it was a very messy race, but it never bored me, or I'm sure never bored the viewers either. A lot
Yeah,
of action.
there's always something to see in a race like this. There's never any dull moments. I'll just close up the game and get up the interview screen so we can get a few drivers into the box. We'll see who there is right now in the chat. So who's the first driver you'd like to have a word with? I'll let you choose the interviews today.
I think we gotta go with the race winner, Bevo.
All right, I'll just drag him in. Hopefully he doesn't get caught out, but I'll pull him in.
Nice work on the pit wall.
Bevo,
Yo.
you've just been dragged into the commentary box. You're on stream at the moment. So congratulations on your win. Is this your first ever win?
I have actually won before. It was a bit of a come from behind, loads of penalties, and I sort of snuck through. But that was a long time ago.
Yeah, this
Last
is a really
year.
good drive from you. Last year was your
Yeah, this
last
is
win.
definitely a bit easier sitting out the front the whole race. So, but yeah, my plan was really med soft to change it up, but too many safety cars.
Yeah, we were saying that the
Turned
safety
into a
cars
med
really
soft.
throw you off. The safety cars throw off the strategy of the drivers. So I'm curious to know, what was your tire you were on at the end on the soft stint?
65 on
Right.
the rear right, 63 on the other side.
So it wasn't near puncture territory because I was predicting that you'd be near punctures because you were really fast. So I thought you were using up the tires too much.
I was taking it. I was actually. I knew I had 5 seconds on. Who was it? Who was behind me? I didn't even know.
I
I
think.
can't remember. Who came second?
Snoop or VK.
Yes.
VK came second, but Snoopaloop had the 5 second.
Oh yeah. I knew I had 5 seconds on them, plus another 5 seconds with the potential penalty. So, yeah, I probably could have pushed a little bit harder, and I was mindful not to because 60, the tires just the softs don't last that long, but they're okay.
Yeah.
10 laps.
What was the medium sim like? Because I think you're the only one to do to not use the hard tire today.
I did about 19 laps on meds, and they weren't as cooked as the softs. They were probably 55, nearly 60.
Mm-hmm.
I really was only going to do another lap, maybe 2 on the meds, and then switch to softs anyway. So I thought, let's just quickly get this done on the softs.
Well, you did a very great job, and I'm happy to see you continuing the McLaren legacy of winning a race in Novice. I think McLarens have won
Yeah.
one race in Novice in the last, I think, 3 seasons. So good on you for continuing that.
The,
Jacob, any
the
final thoughts?
McLarens are doing so well. We're doing so well this season. It's all right. This might inspire the Papayas. You never know.
Hopefully the other divisions
That's it.
start pulling their weight.
That's it. That's it. Come on.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
no problem.
Good on you
Good
guys.
race. It's always fun to see uh, members of your former team doing well.
Yeah, it is good.
Let's see if we can grab someone else. Who would you like to talk to? I think there's a few people in the box already.
We got to pull up Snooperloop, the academy driver,
Right, I'll pull him
driving,
in.
getting the podium.
Hopefully he doesn't swear as he comes in. Snoop, are you there?
Hey mate, how you doing?
Good. You're in the interview box on stream right now. We want to talk to you about your race. So Jacob,
Yeah.
you go ahead with the questions.
Yeah, so Snoop coming up from academy, reserving upper div for Red Bull, and
Yeah,
collecting the podium. Very
Yeah.
solid drive. How'd it
no,
feel?
thanks. To be honest, I mean it's probably a bit easier since I did a full race last night, and all of these guys probably haven't done a full race sim, so it's a bit easier in that regard. You got a bit of flow from the track last night, and I didn't have any mistakes last night. I didn't have any spins or anything like that, so I was able to just carry that over from last night, and just stay consistent. Most of the race, I had a few little moments, but yeah, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, so are these guys, I wanted to ask, are these guys good to race with compared to academy, or is it not much difference? Feel?
There's a lot of similarities between the two divisions, I think. Obviously, like you seen last night, I mean there was more safety cars in this race than there was last night.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean going wheel to wheel with these guys, yeah, it feels similar to last night. I felt like everyone was sort of giving room, but any division really, I think everyone's probably feels the same. You go in sort of a little bit more cautious than you probably usually would, but yeah, I think it's similar. Similar. It's just it's obviously a bit more pace in this division.
Yeah, but you seem to cope with that pretty well, obviously taking away the podium.
Yeah,
So yeah, well done.
yeah. Thanks, mate.
I wanted to ask before you go, what was the 5 second penalty for? Because I saw it happen on the safety car, and I thought there might be something going on there. So what was the
Yeah.
penalty for?
It was a glitch. It was a glitch in my game. I'm actually just looking at it now. I was just driving, and Crosso was in front of me, and VK was behind me. And then it sort of just glitched out. It said that I went ahead of Crosso, but then on the positions on the left hand side where it shows everyone positions, it says that VK went in front of me, and then he went instantly behind me. So it was like something glitched out. It was like an overtake under the safety car, and it was wanting me to give the position back to VK. So that's why you might have seen on stream when I was slowing down, I was trying to get him to go past, but I just thought, oh, I got to go because everyone's going to get caught behind here. So I just ended up going, and I thought I'll deal with it after. But yeah, it was really confusing.
Yeah, that's gonna be something you should probably put in a ticket, because if it was a game bug or if there's just a bit of confusion, you could get that removed. So my advice is to probably put that in a ticket.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm just about to snip up a clip now and get it in.
All right, well done. Good job on getting a podium. I think that was P2 on track. Probably will be after the penalties removed if it gets removed. So good job, and
Cool.
we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, Murray. Thanks, Zakov.
Yeah.
No problem. Tell
Cheers, mate.
Tadachi that we might pull him into the box, so to just be mentally
Okay.
ready.
Yeah, no worries. I'll let him know. Thanks, fellas.
Yep. I think we should probably talk to your teammate VK, who's also an academy driver reserving up. So I'll drag him in.
Yeah.
To the commentary box. VK, are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
You're on stream now. You're being interviewed. We wanted to talk to you about your race. You had a really good race today and finished on the podium. So talk us through that.
Yeah, I had a good start. I honestly thought I jumped it because the lights were out for so long, and then turn one, I went deep, went around a few people, and I was chilling in there for a bit. And then the guys in front of me, they went for an overtake early on in the race. They took each other out, so they got me up. And then Snoop, yeah, Snoop was driving insane today. He was very good.
Yeah, he's very,
Bummer
very
for his
quick.
penalty. Yeah, bummer for his penalty. I was just told by my engineer, well, yeah, to stay behind him because they didn't want me to overtake him and then get a penalty after the race.
Yeah, I think that's the wiser thing to do. It's better to just hold back and try and sort it out later. But yeah, good job. You had a really good race today. Do you think that driving in academy yesterday helps you learn and know what to expect today?
No, I was actually on controller in academy yesterday.
Oh wow! So you drove on wheel today for the first time.
Yeah, because I was trying to fix my wheel clamps. They were kept coming off my table.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Well, that's really well done. Then you got good points yesterday in academy and good points today in novice. So well done. Good job.
Thank you. I was trying to use stealth to my advantage at the end to try and sit in his DRS to get Snoop, but then he ended up spinning and just started I'd settle P3. It's good points for Alpha, so something that could help us in the constructors.
Yeah, we're very cautious about you in Ferrari. We're seeing Alfa Romeo slowly scoring those points and coming up, and your contribution today is definitely going to make us sweat a bit more. So good job, well done. Zakov, any final questions?
No. I think that was a really good drive. Coming up from academy as well. Clean race, getting the podium in the end. Well done.
Thank you, boys.
Right, well done. We're going to send you back into the commentary box. Say hi to Tom for me.
All right, have a good one, boys.
Yep,
Later.
I think we have time for just one more. I think we should get HK in. Send him a message of warning, so we'll just see if he's ready to jump in. Hello, Mr. HK.
Yeah.
Welcome to the commentary box. You don't sound very happy.
No. I won't make any comment.
No comments?
Not with relation to what mood I'm in, no. But anything else I'll be fine with.
Talk us through the race start, because I saw a bit of a carnage there on lap 1. So what did you see on that race start?
Lap one. I can't even think back that far, to be honest with you, Weru. I've actually got it up now. I'll have a. Oh, I think I missed that. I think that was about the only incident in the entire race that I did miss. So I was pretty happy with that. But we sort of went downhill from there. I'm just watching a replay of it. Yeah, it was actually everybody. Well, I was around Milk and people like that, and everyone was driving pretty cool. I didn't see that incident at all, Weru. I was in front of that, and I didn't see any of it. But it was probably about the only incident I didn't see and wasn't involved with.
So I take it you got tagged by a few drivers at a few points.
One or two. One guy kept trying to dive bomb me. He had 3 goes at it and didn't hit me, and on the 4th go he did. So
I'll be waiting for
it's
that.
one of those. It's not. Look, it's one of those tracks. Like it's so difficult to overtake. Everybody's sort of having a lunge. It's what you got to do here. It's just a horrible. It's a horrible place to race because it's a bit like Monaco with more speed. I think, to be honest with you,
more speed, more DRS zones.
Yeah, and the DRS does not recharge one iota here. It's terrible. I went with Marcel Kiefer's approach and just spammed it. It didn't pay much dividends though. A couple of times we got into good positions, but yeah, it was an interesting race, and I think it'll be a busy one in the stewards' room.
Absolutely, I'm very thankful to not be a steward in this division.
Oh yeah, keep us in academy. It's way better.
It's way better, way more quiet. But yeah,
yeah.
Another thing I wanted to ask was qualifying, because we saw he qualified. I think it was P9 today, and I thought you'd be up there P5, P6. So were there any issues in qualifying?
I don't know what was going on, and look, I can be upset at other people and stuff like that, but I think predominantly there was something weird going on with me. I was getting understeer in corners, like I did me, where I did 180 sim laps and I never had understeer in that final turn. And yet every time I went down there, no matter, I either went in there crawling and got through okay. But anytime I tried to carry speed through there, I was just understeering off the track, and I clipped the wall at one stage and had to go in and change the front wing. I don't know what went wrong. I thought I would qualify probably about the third row of the grid, but it wasn't to be.
It's just one of those days where it just doesn't work out. You do everything right, but unfortunately you suffer. Because there's a lot of stuff going on track, and it starts really with qualifying. If you have a below optimal not commentary session, commentary section. What am I on about? Qualifying session. Yeah, you can really mess up the rest of your race because it just puts you in a different head state. You know what I mean? So
I thought you were grading my commentary there. I was going to say, oh, that's harsh. I thought I did all right. Look, and it's
been a long day.
you're right, because once you something goes wrong, you start overdriving the car, and
yeah,
you're around all the desperates, and you're as desperate as the desperate alongside you. So look, I really there's nothing in the race that I'll be reporting, bar one incident, but and that's neither here nor there, to be honest with you. It's most of it is just racing stuff,
yeah.
and when you have an issue and you've broken something, and you're sitting in 20th spot, 14 seconds off the lead. Yeah, you're desperate. I get it. We all do the same. So I got no dramas. I'm just glad to be out of Miami. It's not my favorite track, as you can probably gather.
What are your thoughts on next week then? I think we're going to be in Japan. So
Well, Japan was a hit and miss. Last time we were at Japan, I was racing an academy, and that's when I had the issue with Nameless Guy and Max Formal, and had my first coming together with two drivers, and then I think it was Stealth. After that, I messed him up on his lap. I tried to get out of his way and got into his way, and he broke his front wing. So as long as I don't have a repeat of that, and I keep my nose clean, I'll be a pretty happy camper. That'll be a good result.
it's going
I
to be a
think my
sprint week.
I think my top three of the championship's out the door now, though.
Never say never. Sprint weeks tend to completely flip the order of how
Yeah,
things happen.
yeah, and I've done two of them. Weru, can you remember any one that's turned out well for me?
Well, you're probably right in that regard then. But look, anything can happen. I just want Ferrari to get some points and win the constructors, because of course I'm a Ferrari driver. But yeah, anything can happen. I think at the moment, based on where you finished today, you'd probably be starting towards P5, P6 on the
Yeah,
grid with the reverse grid. So it's not really bad news for you, but that turn
that's
one in
actually
Japan.
that's probably the highest I've ever been on a reverse. It's probably the highest I've ever been on the grid, besides that one pole. So I'll take that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes next week. So yeah, Zakov, any final thoughts? Any final questions for?
No, I mean, like, unlucky today, HK, but there's always the last few races of the season to claw
I
some
Zach,
positions back in the championship. So
and Zach, you make your own luck too. I mean, I'm a bit salty because I felt a bit hard done by. But by the same token, look, the majority of people out there drove really, really well. Milk and I had a couple of goes where we were side by side, and I thought, oh no, this is not going to end well. But
yeah,
it just was, and that made it so much fun. That by far, as you know, outweighs the one or two weird incidents. That when you get to race side by side with people and it's clean and you're just laying it all
yeah,
on
it's
the
really
line,
good.
it's so much fun.
Yeah, it is really good.
Yeah, unfortunate race for you today, HK. We'll send you on your way back to the Ferrari garage. But yeah, good job on
I'll just go
putting in
and
the
get some
effort.
tissues. I'll be all right. I'll talk to you later, boys. Take care.
See you, HK. Cry in
Bye bye.
peace.
Have fun, guys.
Yeah, I think that brings to an end an eventful day. Apologies for the interruptions in the stream today. I will get on top of that before streaming again. I want to make sure the show is as smooth as possible for everyone, so I'll get that fixed. Zakov, final thoughts. Good race, bad race?
It was a very good race. It was good to watch. It was no canning down laps to the end. It was just laps on laps of action. So yeah, it was really good.
I agree with that. So think I'll bring an end to the day today. Thank you for watching. I have been Weruboy, and I've been joined in the commentary box today by Zykov. So we will catch you next time.